Hey guys, and welcome to yet another episode of Limitless Studios TV.
We got some news. We're going to take down our website, Limitless Studios, limitless-studios.com, and we're going to redo it on Sunday. So, on what's the date on Sunday?
I don't know, what is the date?
29th.
29th,
So
yeah.
Sunday the 29th of this is June, right?
Yes, this is June.
Okay, so Sunday the 29th of June, we're going to take down the website and we're going to be adding our directory of videos. So you'll be able to watch all our videos in high quality on there.
HD quality,
Yeah.
to be precise.
And so I guess that's
It?
Yep.
Okay, I have some, other news. Firefox 3 is now out of beta. Download it for Windows, Linux, and Mac. And they all have their own
separate
interface this time, right?
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Alright, I guess I'm going to jump into my tutorial. Alright, I brought something completely different. I'm going to do some 3D modeling and rendering today. I'm going to be using a program called Autodesk 3ds Max, and it's version 8. You can go to Autodesk's website and you can download, I believe, version 10's out right? That's the newest one.
I think so, yeah.
You can download the free trial there if you want to follow along with this tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and start recording here. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is come up here to my primitives panel, and I'm going to select a cylinder. And I'm going to draw out a cylinder here in the middle of the screen. Basically what we're going to be doing here, I mainly want to show a very classy style of rendering, but in order to do that you have to have some kind of model. So one of the easiest things to do, and it looks pretty cool, is to model a rifle bullet. So that's what I'm going to do here. So after we've drawn that out, we're going to hit, let's see here, F3, F4, which one is it? It's one of these. That changes me. There we go, F4. F4 changes you to your grid pattern. Hit J to get rid of those stupid bounding boxes. Alright, so here we have our cylinder, which is going to be our start of our shell casing. Now what you're going to do is you're going to right click on it, and it's going to bring up a menu here, and you're going to go down here to convert to, and then right here to convert to editable poly. Click that, and it's going to bring you up a whole different set of options here. Alright, I'm just going to take the rotate tool here and rotate down a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Come up here, grab the select tool, and over here in your selections icons, hit the polygon button and drag a selection over the top section of your cylinder, and all those polygons at the top will be selected red. Then come up here to your scale, and let me rotate back around here for you so we can get a better picture of what we're doing. You can see all those polygons are selected, and what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the center of this tool is selected, and we're going to click and drag down, and that is going to start to shrink in that top portion of the shell casing, like so. Okay, now you can start to see we're getting sort of a bullet shape going on here. Now what we're going to do is actually make the bullet that comes out of the top. So deselect on your editable poly menu here and go back to your primitive section and select a, what am I going to select here? We're going to select a, oh, I'm stupid. We're going to select a cone. Alright, we're going to draw a cone right here. And this is going to be our bullet shape. I want it too skinny at the top. Here we go. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to rotate around to the bottom, and we're going to end up making it into an editable poly, also just like we did on the other one. Convert to editable poly. Now what we can do is we can go over here and select our polygon tool again, and select the bottom of this, and we're going to hold down Shift and bring that down. Geez, that's not, oh man, that's not doing what I wanted it to do. Alright, Control Z, which is undo. Okay, instead of doing that, let's try just dragging this down. Yeah, we're just going to drag this down. And then after we drag it down, we're going to come up here to our constrain, and we are going to pull that in to create our bullet shape. Alright, so now what we're going to do is after we've conformed that down, we're going to go back over here to our rotate tool so we can get a better perspective of what we're doing. Pull back a little bit. Now what I want to do is I want to get this centered up with the shell casing. So I'm going to go over here to my top view, and we're going to scroll down here. By the way, I'm zooming in and moving around by holding the center mouse button on my mouse. If you don't have a center mouse button, you can come down here and use these controls at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Now I'm going to deselect on this editable poly selection over here. And I'm going to drag this over to the center of our shell casing. When that's in the center, come over here to our front view and pull it up to the top of shell casing. As you can see, it is way too large, but that's easy to scale down, which we'll do right now. Come up here to scale, and since there's no polygon selected, it's going to uniformly scale the entire thing down. Like so. Now we'll drop that down into the actual shell casing, like so. We're not exactly on center here, so I'll come back over here and put this more in the center of the object of our shell casing. Now, if you're going to be doing this for real life, you'll take much more time and actually use the measurement system inside of 3ds Max so that you can get everything perfectly centered. But since I don't want to take 15 hours to do this, I am going to do it by eye for now. I'm going back now because this bullet casing is not long enough on the bottom. I'm going to pull it down some more to make it look more realistic. Like that. Alright, now the bullet still seems to be a little small compared to, so we're going to bring that out of the shell casing a little bit. And let's make sure that we're not actually outside of the top of the shell casing. Here we are a little bit, so we're going to have to go into the editable poly of this and go to our polygon section and actually select the bottom of this and drag it down slightly. hit F3 so you can go into only wireframe mode. So you can select the bottom there, pull it down. I'm watching my front viewport to watch where the actual bullet goes down into the shell casing. Hit F4 again to come back to your wireframe and your solid object. Alright, now that we have our bullet here made, I'm just going to select it here and pull it up to the top of the grid so it's not in negative numbers on the Z coordinates. Alright, now the render I want to do, if any of you all out there have ever modeled for any kind of game, you'll know that a lot of people have a render that looks very clay-like, and it looks very organic. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up here to the materials editor, and I'm going to change the diffuse, which is just the color basically, to a lighter gray on the shell casing, and then a darker, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to change the actual bullet to a lighter gray, a darker gray. All you have to do is once you change your properties on your material is drag and drop that material onto whatever object that you want it to be applied to. Alright, now I'm selected on the bullet. We're going to go to a different material here and change the diffuse to a darker gray. And drag that over. There we are. Now we have the bullet. Alright, now on to part 2 of this tutorial, which is rendering. I'm going to hit T to go to my top view, and I'm going to zoom out a lot. I'm going to take the plane primitive, and I'm going to drag all the way across to give us a nice solid ground. And once you've done that, you want to hit P to come back into your perspective view. Alright. Now on the ground, I just want the ground to be a white color. So we'll grab our diffuse over here and make it a very, very light gray. Not completely white, or it'll wash out detail in the bullet, but we want it to be more white than the rest of the bullet. Alright, so that's our background. Now we're going on to the rendering part of it. This is where it gets, you start to see the your work come into good light, quite literally actually. But the first thing I'm going to do is lay this bullet over on its side so it doesn't look so standard. So I'm going to select both of them by holding down Control, go to my rotate tool and rotate this down onto its side. And then I'm going to drop it down onto the ground. I'm watching my front viewport here to make sure that I don't go too close to the ground. I don't want to go through the ground. Bring it down a little bit more. There we go. Alright. I'm going to do a quick test render here to see what our scene looks right. This is going to look very, very bad. Now, you can see that, and that looks pretty bad. Looks pretty bad, don't it?
Yeah. I've had some worse ones though.
But we're going to change that. So, what we're going to do is, instead of going up here to our primitives, we're going to click on the lights. And we're going to click on Skylight. I'm going to come to the top viewport here, zoom out, and place a skylight right in the center of our bullet. And then I'm going to come over here to the front view. I'm going to raise it up over top of the bullet. It doesn't matter how high you raise it up, I just like to get it out of view here. Alright, now comes the actual rendering part. I'm going to rotate this down a little bit, better angle. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to go up here to rendering, and then you're going to come down here to advanced lighting and light tracer. And it's going to pop out the light tracer dialog box. Now in here you're going to want to take your raise and samples up to 2000. Then you're going to take your bounces up to 2, and you're going to take your filter size up to 1. If I can select that here. Alright. Now, we're going to come up here to the Common tab, and since I'm on this rendering with advanced lighting takes a lot of processing power, and it actually does take quite a bit of time to render. So I'm going to do a very small render here, and if it takes too much time, we'll just put a picture of it at the end of the tutorial, but I think this should come out right. And after that's all set, I'm going to click render. I'm just rendering on the 320 by 240 size here. So if you are watching this on our YouTube channel, well actually if you're watching this on the YouTube channel you won't even see this. So you'll have to be watching this on our website, so you should be able to see it. And it's taking longer than expected.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, it is.
Does it say how much it's going to take?
No, it hasn't even figured that out yet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is going to take
Time remaining is a bunch of question marks.
a little bit of time, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop that. And right now, you will see a picture of that on the screen. And as you can see, it comes out a lot better. You get a much more organic feel to the render. And that is my tutorial.
Alright. So, today I'm going to show you a couple things in iMovie that you can do. They're really simple, and they are titles. If you noticed in our episode 10 video, I think it was, we had titles showing which mics we were using at the time of the audio playing. So I'm going to show you how we did that in iMovie, and then I'm also going to show you how to make your own custom one inside of Photoshop. Alright, so I've already got these clips here, but I'm going to go ahead and delete them for the purposes of this tutorial. And first of all, I'm just going to drag out another clip and add it to the timeline. Now, to get the titles to show up inside of iMovie, you're going to go over here to this little T right here, which shows or hides title browser. So once you have that open, we use these gradients, but you have all these other ones here. You got paper, torn edge black, formal, transparent, all that. So I'm just going to drag this one on top of the video clip. Now right here you can move where you want this title to show up at, and you can change the duration of how long it's going to stay. I'm going to make it stay for about 3 seconds. So once we get that, play this, and you'll see it shows up. Now inside of this, you can click on this title right here, and you can change your text. Let's just put Limitless TV. We don't want any subtitles, so we'll delete that, and we'll click done. Now you'll notice it's black. Well, I don't want black, I want like a deep blue color. So what you do is you're just going to click on this title again, and you're going to click on the background area of this title, not the text, but this background area, and you'll notice it pops up a color browser. Now, you'll want to take this color browser, put it all the way up to white, which will make your title here white. But I want blue, like I said, so we'll drag this down to the blue, and then we'll make it darker, somewhere around there. And then if you want, you can add this to your color list somehow. But this is fine for me, so close that, and I click done. And then you'll notice when we play the timeline, it's going to fade in, and then it'll fade out. So that title's pretty cool. It's easy to do, but it doesn't look as good as your own custom one. So I'm going to hide iMovie, and I already have a document made inside of Photoshop. You're going to want to make it the size of your video, and you're going to want to position it in the general area where you want it to show up at, because you won't be able to move this after the fact. So I already have this logo set up right here. I have a black background so I can see where I positioned it, and you can create whatever you want, but what I'm going to show you is how to export it, rather save it as it. So click Save As, and I already have this one made called LSTV_tutorial. You're going to save it as a TIFF file, because TIFF saves transparency. There are also other formats like GIF, I think, and PNG that save transparency as well, but I'm going to use TIFF. I'm not sure if the other ones work with iMovie. So I'm going to select TIFF, and then click Save, and it's going to ask me, it already exists, so I want to replace it, yes. Now in here, I'm pretty sure it's already default, but you're going to want to click this Save Transparency so that it saves the transparency, and just click Yes here, and click OK. I already saved it. Now down here in my Finder, I have that TIFF file already found right here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to want to put this in iPhoto, and so to do that, I'm just going to drag this image down here in my dock, put it in iPhoto. iPhoto will open up, it's going to import it. Trying to import. Alright, so it's imported, it's right there. Now I'm going to close this, and we're going to go back to iMovie here. And instead of showing titles browser this time, you're going to want to show the pictures, which is this little camera right here. And this is going to show the photos that are inside of iPhoto. Now I'll scroll down here, and I have two of them because I did one earlier. Pretty sure this was the one I want. And then you just drag this onto your video clip, or if you want, and it's up there now, and you can adjust your duration however long you want it, just like the other clip. And when we play that, you'll see that it loads up in the player. So those are just a couple ways to add titles inside of iMovie. Nothing real hard or real special about it, but it adds a nice custom look to your videos, and it's very easy to do. So with that, I think that's going to be the end of my tutorial. So
alright, so I guess that ends this episode of Limitless Studios TV. Be sure to check out our website at limitless-studios.com. And another reminder, make sure that if you are on our website this Sunday, June 29th, it will be down, but all our videos from back, when did we do our first video? A few months back.
yeah,
Episode 1 till 13 will be up there in high definition. on Monday, hopefully. So we hope to see you back. Hope to see you back next week. And that ends this episode.
All right, later.